Somewhere in this jungle, there's several hundred North Vietnamese soldiers who could wipe out this little American unit to the last man in an unguarded moment.
I looked up and spotted it was an NVA. He had a green uniform, had an AK. I opened up in him, he opened up in me. Well, we got 7 months in country now, 3 Purple Hearts. I don't need a 4th.
The helicopter hovers over the jungle, and he's pulled up 100 feet. 100 feet to a hospital bed and a one-way ticket out of the Vietnam War.
No, I don't think the war played any part in, growing up. As far as we just kind of didn't even think about the war. We just did our thing. It was partying, drinking, smoking, partying, girls. That was it.
If you're the usual car owner, these cars may look like junk to you, something you'd pay somebody $25 just to tow away. You shouldn't do that. This is a 1950 Ford. It was running when Joe Limones bought it for about $400. Now he's making a low rider out of it, and when he's through, it will sell for not quite 3 times what it was worth when it was sold brand new.
I cruised around all over the valley, and like you said, Hollywood, East LA. East LA was a place when you grew up, cruising down Whittier Boulevard. My first car was a '64 Chevy Super Sport with a 4-speed.
This is freedom. Impala Super Sport by Chevrolet. Shortcut to everywhere. Here, car and earth kiss softly. A steel coil spring at each wheel. Oh, this is the jet smooth ride of Chevrolet.
Those were the good old days. Gas was very cheap. Oh my gosh. But as far as Hispanics, it was either Van Nuys Boulevard in the Valley or Whittier Boulevard in East LA. It's been a long time.
It isn't by accident that the word comfort keeps creeping in, for comfort is really the keynote of the 1941 Ford cars.
A friend of mine had a 41. He bought from a guy that did a lot of lowriders, did a lot of glass. He was a glass man, did a lot of glass for all the car clubs. And anybody that wanted the glass for their bomb, what you called bombs. My brother had a 55 Chevy Bel Air. My cousin had a 54 210. My cousin had a 58 Bel Air. I don't even know what the main wheel is now, but back then it was the Supreme. There were Cragars and Supremes. They were the main wheels that you put on your lowrider. Believe it or not, there was only a few guys that had hydraulics. A lot of guys didn't make, I guess, that kind of money to put hydraulics. But they made them look good, with what they had. We worked with what they had. And they were low riding. Put the diamond tuck interior, or the old tuck and roll, take out original interior. My cousin, I remember, this car was all original, beautiful. Took all that interior out and put in diamond tuck interior. Because that was a thing. You didn't ride around with an original car. You had to put that interior in it. You had to have tuck and roll or diamond tuck. Take it down to TJ, have it done maybe. It was cheaper. I had actually it was my father-in-law that gave to my wife, my girlfriend at the time, 65 Riviera with the hideaway headlights. And when they built it, it was low already. And he had the interior done over in TJ, and he did this in the 60s.
What does it take to be a Buick? It takes a car that makes every mile an adventure.
My gosh, when he gave it to her in the 70s, interior was still like as if he had it done yesterday. I like to shoot a lot of pool, so I was always looking for somebody to shoot against, and I was in my early 30s. There was a guy waiting outside one of the local pool halls, a young kid from TJ, matter of fact. I had it long enough, so I let it go cheap for $1,200 bucks. $1,200 bucks. That car now is worth probably $4,000.
USA, see your Chevrolet. Start the 60s right with the Chevrolet Nomad of 1960. Strong, silent, sensibly new, with all the space you need for the USA's way of going and living.
My Nomad, I regret selling. 60 Nomad, air conditioning, had my record player. They called them bread boxes. Mine played up to 13 records, but you could drive like over the railroad tracks near the Knights of Columbus with 7 and not skip. course, you're not going 100 miles an hour. And I had Vibrasonic, they call them reverbs, echo bar, kind of like when you're in an auditorium, how it echoes. T-Bird came out with the original. That was the thing to have. And then you had your color bars. It was a bar about a foot long, and it played to the music. And it would just, the lights would blink to the beat. There you go, to the beat. So I had all that in my car. When I sold my Nomad, I sold it with the record player, and it was like brand new. That record player alone was worth now probably $400. Didn't want to sell it, but I had to. You know, I just lost my job, and my daughter had to eat, and you know, we had to eat, so there'll be others.